Good morning. So I got a question from a young man that I'm going to answer today. And he writes, I've been with this girl for 2 years now, and she was my first girlfriend, pretty much my first everything. I was her third boyfriend, met her when I was 23, and I'm 25 now. I was a late bloomer. This already reminds me of when I met my first ever girlfriend. I was 19, she was 23, so she was actually quite older than me. And she was my first everything as well. Apart from like kissing, basically. I had kissed girls before, but she was my first like everything sexually. She had, I think, two boyfriends before me, and she also told me that she had had sex with two other guys outside of relationships. So I was the fifth guy that she was with. She was my everything, and I was her 20%. Especially for the guys who are like the good boys who are watching this, who have got like sensitive hearts. Please don't get into that type of dynamic. If that would hurt you, if right now like you're feeling a bit of pain of what I've just said right now, please, for the love of God, do not get into that dynamic. If you're like a good boy, you've never even, for example, kissed a girl, or you've never done anything sexual, only get with a girl who is the same. You don't want your girl more experienced than you. When we first started dating, she used to go out partying and drinking, and I always told her I didn't like that stuff because guys there are only looking to see who they can fuck. Yeah, I agree with you there largely. I know a lot of people will say that they go out to sort of just dance or whatever, which there's some truth to. But largely, the sort of partying, drinking, club environment is largely to create this atmosphere of hooking up, getting attention, validation, and flirting on each other. And so, someone who's in a happy relationship doesn't go out to those places. Not even occasionally, occasionally their like friend says, "Oh, let's go out," and it's their birthday or something. No, no, no. Someone who's in a happy relationship does not go out. In fact, for most relationships, it's that specific day where one of them goes out to the party or club that they end up cheating on each other. So with people whose like prefrontal cortexes have developed, people who are basically emotionally mature, they know this and they won't argue about it. You and your partner will both agree with this. And for example, you might go with your partner randomly. One night you can't sleep, she can't sleep, and you're like, fuck it, should we just like fucking go out right now? And you go out together and it's like a funny night, okay, fine. But you don't go out separately. You just do not do that if you're in a happy, healthy relationship. Some people may say, oh, well, it's okay if you trust the other person. And that's just, I think that's like almost kind of like victim blaming of like, oh, well, you don't trust your partner, I do, so it's fine. Your partner, it's not about trusting them. It's about their respect in you. When someone respects you, they don't put themselves in a dangerous position. Let's say, for example, your friend has the key to your house. The more your friend respects you, the safer he'll keep that key to your house, the safer and more careful he'll be to not accidentally leave like the front door open or unlocked. And your partner is the same. The more they respect you, the less that they will ever even consider going out to places like that, because they know it's just not the type of place that you go to when you're actually in a happy relationship, just because of the sheer number of people that will come up to them and approach them. If they really wanted to have like fun with their friends, get some, okay, fine, you want to drink and stuff, get some drinks and then just go party inside. Get some drinks. Why do you need like guys around you? Right? Why do you need single horny guys around you? If it's really about like, oh, but I just want to look good and dance with my friends, get some drinks, invite your friends around and dance together. Right? But hardly anyone does that because it was never about like, oh, just dancing with my friends. It was quite literally, let's go to the club where we'll get some attention and there's a 5 to 20% chance one of us wants to cheat tonight. So be very, very careful. For me, in a relationship, I kind of have like an unspoken rule, which is that I wouldn't like if a girl I was in a real relationship with just went out partying one night, I would just split. Like I would just basically assume like we're not in a relationship then, because that's the act of a single person. But I'd even go as far as to say someone who's done a lot of partying and drinking in the past, I wouldn't want to date. One of my questions that I sometimes ask a girl when I'm like sort of getting to know her is, I'll ask like, what did you do for your birthday? what did you do for the New Year's? Because I want to know, like, okay, what kind of woman is she? I don't just want her to meet me and then become a good girl who now doesn't go out and sort of party. I want her to already kind of be like that. It's a very low frequency kind of like degenerate environment, which I understand if you go into every now and then when you're single, but in a relationship, you just don't do that. She said she only goes there to dance with her female friends. Yeah, this is a like a form of manipulation because she's basically telling you like, oh no, but I'm going for this honest, quite sweet reason. And then basically what happens is you feel like the bad guy when a girl says this to you because now it feels like you're insecure. What? You're not going to let your girl just go have fun with her friends. If she was actually wanting to dance with her female friends, they would go and dance at home. They wouldn't go to the environment where there's tons of horny guys there. They are going specifically to clubs and parties because there's guys there, specifically. So at the beginning, I tried to act like the confident guy. Now, this is you basically acting like you don't have balls. It hurt you. You felt uncomfortable, and you need to have the skill to be able to express that and communicate that discomfort. A lot of guys, when they're in this situation and their girls like going out, they try and play like this confident guy thing of like, oh yeah, like I'm secure. You might even see some of the comments on this video. Often we don't really get those kinds of guys commenting, but on Instagram I do. Where on Instagram guys will comment like, oh, you guys are all insecure. I'm so secure. My girl goes out. I trust her. That's a cope. The guy's literally like crying behind the mask, but he has to kind of project this like, oh yeah, I'm so confident. I'm so confident. He has to project that kind of personality because his girl's not listening to him. So he has to basically cope and say, oh yeah, well, I don't mind it. Ideally, let's be honest, like he doesn't want his girl to go out and dance next to guys. We all know this. No guy wants his girl to do that. But since she's going to do it anyway because this guy isn't like the leader of their relationship, then he has to like have this sort of posturing of like, oh yeah, I'm confident. I don't mind if my girl does that. I trust her. No, this guy wishes that she wouldn't go out. He wishes that she wouldn't go get more ready to go dance next to guys than she does to go on dates with him. No guy wants that. When you have no sort of leadership with your woman and she's just going to do whatever the fuck she wants and she doesn't even care about your input because you are not that masculine, you are not that strong, then it's easy to start coping and saying like, oh yeah, well, I don't even mind, I'm confident, whatever. And it's important for all of us right now who are watching this to start to just like breathe and really feel your own values and say, you know what? I am uncomfortable with that. I don't have to pretend to be some like confident guy. I am uncomfortable with that. I'm going to express it to her. I'm going to communicate it to her. When you communicate it to her and you say, I know like you like going out, I just wanted to say like it kind of makes me feel uncomfortable because look, I've been out loads and I know what the environment's like and I know that there's tons of guys there and I trust you, I love you. But if you really wanted to dance, why can't you just dance at home with your girls? Why does it have to be next to guys? If she says anything which is an attack to you, that shows a lack of emotional maturity in her. If she says like, what? Well, no, it's not that big of a deal. Don't you trust me? Whatever. If she gets like sad and she's like, oh, like I didn't realize I was making you feel uncomfortable. I didn't even think about it. Actually, I just thought it was kind of normal because that's what I've always been doing. But now that I think about it, yeah, like you must feel so uncomfortable. Like, I'm going out dancing and I swear to God, I'm just dancing with my girls. But yeah, there are like guys there. I never even think about them because I'm always on you. I'm always calling you when I'm drunk and everything. If she responds like that and then she makes a change and then basically she stops going out to these places. Or she starts saying like, hey, like, I got invited to go out. Would you just come with me? Because I really want to go, but I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. But then if you're with me, it'll be even more fun. You've got a good girl who says that. Ideally, the girl doesn't go out anyway. But if she responds like that, that's a girl who's taking care of your heart. If she has any other kind of response where she's like, what? Like, don't you trust me? Don't you trust me? No, what? Come on, don't be... If she says anything like that, I'm telling you, she doesn't give a shit about your heart. And that would be a great time for you to split up. When you split up, she'll start crying and begging, and then she'll say that she won't go out. But then I promise you, she'll start doing it in secret. So just be careful here. Communicate your feelings to her. See her response. And this brings us to a bigger sort of lesson, which is only give your heart to girls who are emotionally capable of handling it. Too many guys, we focus just entirely on attracting the girl and not on actually managing the relationship and attracting a girl who's not just, she's beautiful or whatever, but a girl who's got the emotional skills to be able to handle your heart just like you do for her. And you know what's interesting? Girls talk about this way more than guys do, like your relationship skills or whatever. I've been quite sadly disappointed with the skill of women in sort of dating and love. It seems to me like most women you meet, they are quite emotionally immature when it comes to conversations like this. Maybe guys are as well, but I'm the type of guy who reads books on like communication skills or something. When I was growing up, I always just assumed like everyone did this. So these are things I learned, and I'm no saint, right? I've like blew up before. I've ended up saying disrespectful things or whatever. Sure, but you might find quite often in like relationships that you might convey something like this. You might express how you're feeling, and she just kind of like doesn't take it seriously, or she does kind of listen to you, and she gives you like puppy dog look of like, oh, and then she just basically plans to go out anyway. Her need for validation and dopamine is bigger than her need for the security of your love and your relationship. Which at that point, if she wants to act like she's single, you may as well just throw your hands up and say, like, you know what, fair enough. This is not actually a good girl. I just kind of attached to the wrong girl who's not actually serious about relationships. So like, why continue this further? Don't give your heart to girls who aren't taking it seriously. Don't. It's one of the worst things you can do. And a girl who's going out partying, a girl who's going out drinking, a girl who, when you express it to her, that you're uncomfortable with her dancing next. Like, look, you're uncomfortable with her getting dolled up, wearing a tight dress, wearing makeup, looking nice, smelling nice, drinking alcohol and dancing next to guys who want to fuck her. Are we in like a clown world where you have to even express that? But let's say you do, right? It's because, expressing your emotions is still a good thing. You effectively communicate and say, that stuff makes me uncomfortable and I don't really like it when you go out to these places. If she says anything to you other than that sort of like, oh, you're right, so right, actually, yeah, we should just stay in, and you should come with me, whatever. She doesn't give a fuck about you. If you split up with her there and then, she will start crying and she will sort of beg you to stay and she will tell you like she won't go out. But those are almost like sort of puppy, like crocodile tears, like fake tears, just because she wanted to be the one to sort of like cheat and break up with you first rather than you break up with her. But if you've got a girl who's acting like this, like she's acting single, then yeah, just have some respect for yourself. That's it. Honestly, like just reading this has already taught me that this is like a relationship that shouldn't even continue past this point. Now, I understand you probably have continued it past this point because, we're all weak, and when you've got an attachment to a girl, it's kind of hard to split up just over like a conversation like this. But already, just these first few lines have taught me like she doesn't actually give a shit about you. If you tell her like, oh, I don't really like it when you go out, it makes me feel uncomfortable, and then she basically like manipulates you and kind of downplays the situation and says, oh, well, I'm just going to dance with my female friends. This is a form of manipulation because she's sort of minimizing what you've just spoke about. She'll say like, no, but what, you don't want me to go out and have friends? Well, yeah, I want you to have friends, but I don't want you to go and get ready for 2-3 hours and dress sexy and then smell nice and then go dance next to guys. And it's if someone says, oh, but you don't trust her, no, but it's like, I'm losing trust in her because of this, right? You trust more the girl who doesn't put herself in this kind of situation. You don't trust the girl who keeps going to this type of situation, which is risky. You don't trust your friend who keeps leaving your front door open, who keeps like advertising your location, right? It's like you don't trust the person who's just adding like risk to your life. When I sometimes went with her, I would see out of shape guys, etc. And I'm like, there's no way these guys can take my GF. Be very careful, bro. I'm telling you right now, in the club, the guy who's jacked or whatever, it's not always the best guy. It's just the fun guy. And a lot of times the fun guy in the club, he's got like shit facial hair. He's a bit chubby, but he's just got like sort of, he goes to the club all the time. So he's kind of got like the social skills to be there. And he'll go up and like fist bump your girl and hold her eye contact and shit like that. It's like, just don't think this idea of like your ego of like, oh yeah, but I'm jacked and no the guy's gonna take her from me. Don't think like that. It doesn't serve you to think like that. Like if your girl's putting herself into a dangerous situation, it doesn't serve you to think like, oh well, I'm the best guy anyway. I make more money than them. I'm more jacked than them. Because in that situation, she's not in a logical mode where she's thinking about, okay, is my boyfriend better than this guy? She's in an emotional mode where she's literally just chasing fun, validation, attention, hype. And so if there's a guy who's like kind of funny and her girls just happen to find him funny and her girls are a little bit attracted to him too, and they give her, sort of like the nod of approval, sort of like subconsciously, she might end up dancing with him, kissing, and it can turn very quickly into him fucking her, just very, very quickly. Deep down, I was bothered and had insomnia when she would go out by herself. Yeah, this is stuff that you need to just convey. And if someone's doing this to you, I'm telling you right now, they just don't even care about your heart, right? If this is how you feel and you can't convey this to her, or you have, but she's not listening to it, she doesn't actually care about you. I know it's like your relationship. I know like you've been together and you have some sweet moments and you have a lot of sex and whatever. But if this is how you feel by the actions of the person you're with and they're not trying to like change anything about themselves because of this, then you're just not compatible. It's as simple as that. She should go out with someone who also goes out as much as her or whatever, and they'll be in some like toxic relationship where they both keep cheating on each other. Chances are, she may very well have already cheated on you multiple times. Honestly, like when girls go out, it's 10% of the time that they're getting dick down. It is the truth, bro. It is very much the truth. Just be careful with that. Eventually, later on in the relationship, after many breakups, she stopped going out. This is not what you want to hear. Basically, she's kind of relaxing a bit. There's a kind of a season where her friends are going out less, and now she's kind of going out less, and she's almost dressed it up as like, okay, I'll go out less. And also sometimes she's going out and she's texting you like, oh yeah, good night, I'm going to sleep as well. I don't mean to be an asshole and make it all dark, but I'm telling you, this situation's happened to so many guys I know, so many guys I've helped in our community, and the girl will eventually just sort of like submit and say, okay, fine, I won't go out. And then she'll just basically go out, but she won't tell you. I can't tell you the amount of times I was in university. So I was like a party boy, right, in university. This is why I know so much about this, because it was never actually, the way I'm speaking may make it sound like I've been like the sort of hurt boyfriend in this situation. It's not. I've been the other guy in this situation countless times. I've been the party boy in university where I was single, I was going out, and girls who were going out with us, like, we're in a big group from like our student accommodation or whatever. They all, like, a lot of them had boyfriends, and it was always like, they would always laugh about it. Like, their girlfriends would tell us, like, oh yeah, like her boyfriend said she can't go out, so she's just texting him saying that she's like going to sleep, and now we just have to go to take a picture like of her in her bed, pretending that she's about to sleep or something like that. And they laugh at their boyfriends, they deceive them, and then me or one of my friends fuck them. So don't you think like I'm like the victim in this scenario and we're all hurt little boys. I was the one fucking these girls. Right, so just think about that. I'm speaking from a very interesting position here. I'm speaking from the guy who was the other guy in this situation. And also I was in shape. And also I was charismatic and everything. Now imagine. This right here, I'm telling you, is not a green flag at all. The amount of girls who would say shit like this to their boyfriends and then still come out with us was huge. Don't you? If you're dating a party girl and she ends up saying this, I wouldn't believe her. But also, look, this just comes down to the foundation. You're dating a fucking party girl. You're not a party boy. You shouldn't be like party girls and party boys. When they get into a relationship, it's toxic as fuck. But what's worse than that is when a good boy dates a party girl, and then she's going out, and you have no leadership over the thing, and then you realize like she's been cheating on you with 2-3 guys that she's hooked up with. One guy she even meets in the daytime as well. Why are you dating a fucking party girl? The reason why is because you're operating out of scarcity. You don't have other options. If you had a girl who, for example, was as beautiful as this one, as funny as this one, but also this other girl wasn't going out, and she, for example, you'd like to wake up early and go for runs with you, for example, you'd easily think, oh, let me be with this new girl. She's fucking awesome. She's healthy. She's even healthier than me. The reason why you're with this girl is because you're just acting like you've got no fucking options. And this is actually going to reduce your self-esteem. You feel like shit. You're fucking up your sleep. And then you're going to be slower to attract a better girl in the first place. So we barely need to read any more past this point. You just need to split up with this girl. You're not compatible. Look, she isn't even a bad person for this. You met a party girl and you expected her to change. You tried to like save her. And the thing is, she doesn't even give a shit about your sort of saving. She doesn't listen to you, whatever. I've dated girls who not, aren't really party girls, but you know, like they were doing shit which wasn't good for them. Like they were smoking weed or they were posting too much on Instagram. And then when they got with me, they stopped doing those things because I was a capable leader for them and they respected me. Even that situation, I think, is risky because when you guys have an argument, she kind of slingshots and starts doing that stuff again. But still, it was okay, it was something. But what you're in right now, where you're with a girl who doesn't even respect you enough to listen to you and sort of change her behavior because of what you say, like this is a lie. I'm telling you right now, this is not hers. Like actually changing. This is basically her just saying, okay, fine, I won't go out. And what she's really thinking is, okay, I'll just go out in sort of private. I'll turn my location off. I'll leave my phone at home, whatever. So I'm not going to read the rest of this because we don't have to see it. And look, she's probably like she's with a guy or some shit like that. People are saying you did the right thing, so I'm assuming you broke up with her. Let's just skip over this. I found her walking home with another guy, both drinking. They weren't hugging or anything, but I still confronted the guy, that's my girlfriend, etc., and took my girl with me to the room, and she fell asleep automatically. She was drunk. They could have just fucked on the street. Now I need to be a bit dark and not be nice to. It could have happened. Next day, we left the hotel. She knew I was pissed and I was acting lovely, but I didn't forgive her. I broke up with her when we arrived. She tried to beg me. She wasn't doing anything wrong, and I was extremely jealous. She's manipulating you. I don't like the fact that she was giving other guy attention whilst drinking. I tried to leave her before in the past for the same reasons, but I couldn't grow a pair of balls. She doesn't respect you. I really love her, so I want to know if I did the right thing. Yeah, look, we're not going to read any more of this post. It's just wasting our time. Sorry, I know I'm being an asshole now, but it's like, bro, you're dating the wrong girl. It's as simple as that. You need to fucking delete this girl of everything. Never see her ever again. Otherwise, you're just being a fucking pussy. Block her from everything because since this is your first girl, when she does reach out in a few weeks to see if you're still a fucking beta male who'll crawl back to her even though she disrespected you, you will. So delete her from everything. Make sure you don't see anything about her. Delete the friend of hers that you've got on Snapchat or some shit because, you know, you'll see her dancing with another guy soon. Delete it all. I know it sounds fucking ruthless. You've got a girl who you're not even compatible with. This was like a false relationship to begin with. You just got with this girl because you had no other options. And you'll get other options. You'll get other girls, better girls, faster the moment you do this. So it's like you're just setting up your future self, right? You need to stop being so selfish right now with your current self and stop sacrificing for your future self. Imagine burdening your future self with the same girl. That's like putting yourself in debt, spending too much money, eating too many calories. Stop burdening your future self and keeping this girl in your life. Delete her from everything. Block her because you're most likely, if it's your first girl, it'd be very hard for you to like resist the urge of still messaging her or she'll message you, whatever. Just block her. I know some dorks will say, no, don't block her. It seems insecure. It's like, who gives a fuck about seeming insecure now that it's going to end? I'd rather you just stay sane. You follow my advice, not some random fucking kid who'll comment on this saying, oh, but that seems insecure. Fuck that kid. Block her from everything. Delete anyone else who you know will kind of put her up on Snapchat, and don't you fucking dare not listen to what I've just said there. Don't you dare look at someone else on Instagram, Snapchat and think, oh, wait, I might keep them added just I just want to know if she's like dancing with someone. No, fuck you. Delete everyone. Move on with the situation. Go harder in your self-improvement journey. Speak to more girls. You'll find a girl who, like, let's say 6 months from now, 12 months from now, you'll find a girl who, instead of being out at 3 a.m., you'll find a girl who wakes up at 5 a.m. to go for a run, and she'll call you and beg you and turn up at your house to ask you to go on a run with her. That's who you're compatible with. Right? Go and find the girl you're fucking compatible with, bro. We're not just losing this girl. What we're doing is gaining the girl you're actually compatible with, but you're only going to meet her when you get out of this low frequency, low energy, low self-esteem kind of relationship. Start healing a bit, recognize, okay, this was my fault. I dated a girl just because I had no other girls who were into me, and this girl, I stayed with her even though we weren't compatible, and she wasn't respecting me. It wasn't the kind of relationship I wanted, so I'm going to learn from that. I need to have some fucking balls. I need to have some standards in relationships. Start living the life that you want to live as like a solo, single guy. Spend time with friends. Go harder in your self-improvement, your fitness, everything. And you'll end up bumping into the girl who's so much more compatible with you. You'll still have some problems with her, but at least the foundation will be right. The foundation of this relationship was cracked. I could tell you how to get this girl back or whatever, but it wouldn't fucking matter because the foundation is cracked. She should be with a guy who's like a party boy and they both just cheat on each other, and it's toxic in us to kind of stimulate both of their ADHD sort of personalities. That's not you. What you need to do is let this girl go, because all you're doing is sacrificing the progress for your future self. All you're doing is basically delaying the day that you meet the good girl. So if you block her from right now. Like I'm talking, okay, as I say these fucking words, go on your phone and delete everything. Don't send her one last fucking message or anything. Don't try and like, oh, meet her for closure. That's closure's for girls, and only for good girls. You only kind of meet the girl, who's been nice to you, not this. You block her from everything. You don't even have to fucking say anything. Bro, chances are she's already fucking cheated on you, right? So you just fucking move on with your fucking life. Block her from everything, boom, move on with your fucking life. As I say these words, like do this right now. And then you can just go and start making more progress and actually go meet someone. Today is like day one of you moving on. What I don't want you to do, which is what a lot of people do with their first girlfriend, listen to my words carefully, is notice the moment that you should have split up with her, but then just fucking on and off procrastinate for 3 months, 6 months. To be fair, you've already fucking done this anyway. You should have ended with this girl maybe months ago. And if you did that, imagine right now could be day one of you moving on. But since younger you was so selfish that he kept on going back to this girl, it's day one today when it could have been day one like 3 months ago, and it could have been day 90 of moving on and you'd hardly even be thinking about her. Stop being selfish now. Think about your future self, not your current self. Your future self, why are you burdening him by keeping this girl in your life still? You really want your future self to still be dealing with this shit? You take the fucking heartbreak. You take the pain so that your future self can start making progress. Today could be day one, or day one could be still 3, 6 months from now if you get back with her, if you keep texting her. Don't. I know it's fucking painful. I know it is. I've been through this stuff myself. But I want you to make progress. Make today day one officially of actually moving on. No going back. Absolutely no contact. No cute shit sending her one last message. No cute shit just meeting her once. Just giving her like the t-shirt back. Stop being a fucking little pussy. Zero contact from now. Zero. Even if she turns up at your fucking house, you don't even open the door. You open the door if you didn't know who it was. And you say, oh, sorry, I don't want to speak to you. Boom, close the door. Boom. Just that's it. Just fucking day one from today. I promise by day 90, 3 months from now, you'll hardly be thinking about this girl. You'll look back with like a smile on your face. But day 90 could be 90 days from now. But it also could be fucking 6, 9 months from now, because you only started day one like fucking months from now, because you listen to what I'm saying a little bit, but then you don't go all the way with what I've said and you keep her sort of unblocked. And then she reaches out to you in 2 weeks and you really miss her. And then you have makeup sex and it feels so good. And then you start it again. It's good for a few weeks, then it happens again and whatever. Why? You're not compatible with this fucking girl. I know. You want to try and make it work. I know you've got this attachment. It needs to be day one today. It's as simple as that. This isn't for you. This is for your future self. Your younger self from a few months ago was so selfish. He didn't want to take that pain, so now you have to deal with it. Do not keep pushing this off and off and off. I'm sorry that you're going through this and that, it's tough, man. Of course it is. But I want you to smile through this and think, you know what? This is an act of me sort of leveling up as a man, establishing my values, establishing my sort of level in life. And by splitting up with this girl, I get this sort of slingshot effect where I'm going to make faster progress and I'm going to go and attract a better girl. 6 months, 12 months, 2 years from now. Don't delay that. Speed that process up for your future self. Start day one from today. And please, for the love of God, go all the way with the advice I've just said. Don't leave one stone unturned. If you don't block her from the platform, she will message you in a few weeks, and you probably will go crawling back to her thinking, maybe we can make it work. What if I get her on self-improvement or all this gay shit? Just shut the fuck up. Go all the way and start moving on. Yeah, hope that helps you. For everyone else who's watching this on YouTube, we have this social media platform, which is for guys who are like us, guys who are hard on their self-improvement journey. We have these big discussions where you can talk about this very deep parts of your life, which maybe you can't speak to anyone about. You get advice from me and everything. It's a fucking awesome place to be. And then there's also tons of full guides, courses here that I've never released on YouTube. It's exclusive kind of place. So if you want the next level of my advice, if my advice has already changed your life, the moment you trust me enough to buy something from me, you can just go over to there'll be a link underneath this video. You can go over and just have a look. And then if you want to join, it would be my absolute pleasure for you to join our community and become a big sort of name and a big face in our community here. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.